it's time for our children's story.
Thank you. It's a whole new week for me, you know. Got a year older. Well, what was the story? What did I say last week? Does anybody remember? About the new teacher, yes. And she went to Michigan. What did I say was going to happen this week? Do you remember? It was kind of like, what was it? You forgot. I said, save the school. Right? Isn't that what I said? Save the school, isn't that what I said? Yeah. Wonder why the school's going to have to be saved. Well, remember there was 5 people that went from college to be school teachers, right? And this one went up to way up north in Michigan. So the school was doing pretty good. Now Mrs. Walcock, she's there and she just came out of the barn. But before she came out of the barn, she went into the barn and she was up in the haymow. And she was praying and talking to the Lord. Because, you know, it's kind of lonesome when you lost your husband. And there you are all alone, right, Marlene? And you miss them so much. But she had 5 children. So she really had a lot of responsibility. So she went to the barn to talk to the Lord to say, you know, please help me. I've got 5 kids, and now they had how many? Do you remember that? How many kids? She had 5. Okay, there's a total of 13. What's your math?
8.
Thank you. Somebody here is doing good in homeschool. So they had 8 altogether. There was 13 kids that she had to teach. And she had this little house, and it was a small house. And the teacher got the room upstairs, and downstairs they made it the classroom. So this week we've got the house over here. And so anyway, she went out to the barn to talk. And the teacher was there teaching the children. And all of a sudden, why I said help save the school? Up around the chimney, too hot of coals, too much wood. What would happen next? The roof caught on fire. That's why help save the school. So the teacher real quick took the second to the oldest girl, and they ran upstairs with a bucket. And they put chairs together. I don't know who on earth would stand on a chair on a table, but there are people in our church that does that. And they reach up there, and they were throwing little things of water on it. Meanwhile, the oldest girl that took and walked out in the snow last week with the teacher to have Sabbath school, she went outside of the house, and there was a rickety old ladder there. And then the rest of the children went to the well and started pumping, and you know, and they got all the buckets they could get. And they went up there, so I'm sure they had a fire brigade going up there throwing buckets, and inside the house they was throwing water up on it. And I imagine the angels just probably fanned their wings. What do you think? And the fire went out, and they were so happy. There was a minimal damage to the roof. But about that time that they all came out, and they're like, phew, boy, here comes Mom out of the barn. Saying, well, what's going on here? And then she held to that claim. Before you even ask, I have heard your prayer. And God has already put the fire out. So they were really, really thrilled and had a lot to be thankful for when they went back to school, because they still had school. And you know, the school there just kept growing, and then there was more schools going out all over. They now had elementary schools in Africa, and we Adventists had schools going everywhere, and colleges, and that's what the Lord wanted. And it's a shame today that some of our schools are closing. But the Lord made provision. He helps Mom to teach you. And so you didn't lose a school. You have a good teacher, and I'm sure they spend a lot of time talking to the Lord about what to teach y'all and to help you. So you're very blessed that you all go to school and have homeschool. And we pray for you and homeschooling children that needs help and everything. So, and we're also blessed that our schools are going over it, and that's how we get the word out, because you realize if you didn't go to homeschool and you went to public school, you wouldn't even be allowed to say your blessing before you ate your meal, and they would ridicule you and make fun of you. So you're very blessed to be homeschooled and to learn more about Jesus. And who knows, I know the Lord's coming very soon, but you could be gone somewhere teaching school. Boy, what a teacher you'd make, huh? It's your youngest I'm talking to, okay? And he smiled. And so we have to remember this and thank the Lord, because the Seventh-day Adventist is a movement. We're doing everything the Lord wanted us to do, right? And He's in control. And all we have to do is just find out what He wants us to do and have the faith, and remember He answers our prayer before we even ask. Now next week, this is a weird one. See if you remember this, okay? A funeral in a schoolhouse? Ooh, that sounds kind of bad to me. See you next week.